Hello!
It's easy to pull the trigger, but it ain't easy to move your mom out the hood. That's a real man job.
Lock in on your dream. Lock in.
Nobody gives a fuck about your feelings, bro.
Let me say something to all of my haters. Fuck you.
Just for 1 minute, stick your foot in my shoes and try to deal with what I go through in my life.
It's a 22. Pew, pew, pew.
Ain't no hold up.
Listen, bro.
Ain't no hold up.
It ain't gotta be no hold up. I'm asking you a question.
Ain't no hold up.
I'm asking you a
Ain't
question.
no hold up.
What do you mean it ain't no hold up, man?
That doesn't fly. That's not gonna fly. It's not gonna fly. It's not gonna fly. It's not gonna fly.
Rappers got dreadlocks in their hair. What does that mean? Is that a statement or is that just something that y'all like to do?
Exactly.
That's what that is?
Hello!
What's happening, y'all? It's your boy Shondell.
And your boy C Flip.
Y'all tuned in, man, to the Session Podcast, man. The podcast dedicated more than nothing than something. Feel what I'm saying? And a lot of bullshit going on out here, bro. You feel me?
A lot this week.
No, like real talk, man. I'm seeing motherfuckers trying to make citizens arrest and shit. Getting their ass whooped.
Right.
You feel me? Just a lot of fucking.
I done seen about 3 citizens arrested in the last week.
And that's not even cool. I don't even know why. Yeah. I don't know why people feel like that's their obligated duty to do that, bro. Don't nobody want to mind I don't want to be, sound like I'm putting nobody in the box, man. But white people don't mind their business. They ain't been minding their business lately. You feel what I'm saying? First you got motherfucker want to check a motherfucker for stealing in the store. I seen a video where a lady went up to another lady and said she gonna call the police because she's selling her food stamps.
Right, bro. Right. Some shit niggas been doing for years, bro. And the thing
what
about
I'm saying,
bro, some people, bro, like it's beyond like motherfuckers like flexing their position of power. Like it's more so even about that. It's more so people won't feel important nowadays.
Exactly.
They won't feel like they stopping some shit.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? Over some like really people gonna do anyway. You feel me? At this point, it's just starting to get funny now.
It's starting to get funny, but it's fucked up too at the same time. Let me talk about this case I seen. I seen this. It's this case in Florida. You know they got that stand your ground law. You feel what I'm saying? Quote unquote. That's how Zimmerman got off or whatever. So they got this in Florida. You feel what I'm saying? And these two dudes is fighting over a handicap spot. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So they fighting over the spot, and like black dude pushed down the white dude. White dude sits on his ass, pull out a gun while sitting on his ass, aims it at the man, foul, kills him. You feel what I'm saying? Gets off. Stand your ground law. Man,
fuck that. That's fucked up, bro. Like, that's unfortunate, bro. But let me tell you about the case I just saw like literally an hour ago, bro. A car was fleeing the scene, you feel me, of a basically a drug deal gone wrong. The police went in on him, right?
Yeah.
So the driver of the car got out and flees. He flees, you feel me? It's like 4 police cars like chasing this nigga. Bro, then, like, you feel me, he left his car abandoned. So this guy, bro, like, one of the dudes who seen, like, was watching the whole thing, he went over and the dude apparently had dope in the car. So he went over and tried to take the dope out of the car, and one of the police caught him. Bro, that nigga really beat him up. Like, the police cracked the nigga.
Oh, I seen that
like,
shit.
The police cracked the nigga, and not only did he do that,
when he pushed his mama.
Then he pushed his mama on the ground, bro. Like, that's crazy.
And it's a line. See, it's the thing that the problem, one of many that I got with this police situation. Cause I'm seeing all these videos go viral of police, mistreating black people, and that's normal. Honestly, it's not right. I'm not saying it's right at all. But to a black person in the community that's been, through that and seen that his whole life, it's kind of normal. But at the same time, nothing's normal about a grown-ass man putting his hands on kids or putting his hands on a female, of that matter, or putting his hands on female. I seen 2 officers kneeing this little girl. You feel what I'm saying? I'm like, is this what y'all really doing? You feel me? It's past the badge and resisting. Y'all too grown ass man.
Well, I know the difference between like constructing somebody, you feel me, trying to, calm them down, but these police officers are literally fighting them.
Yeah,
they are like cracking niggas. Like they are really stealing.
Yeah, because like I said, bro, like people gotta understand, bro, like police are humans. I say this all the time, and I say it with anything, whether it be a lawyer or a doctor. At the end of the day, a doctor can try his best, but he's trained supposed to know, and he takes a swear to try his best. But at the end of the day, he might not see that cancer in your body. You know what I'm saying? He might not see that broken bone. people get sent home with malpractice. It's called malpractice, where they misdiagnose you because they just either didn't see it or they didn't know any better. You feel what I'm saying? And that just goes to show you that people are human, even when we feel like people cannot fuck up. So that goes to show you with these police, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and police especially, because not only are police humans, but they get paid like us normal humans. You feel what I'm saying?
We pay them.
Exactly. But they, you know what I'm saying? They real normal. You feel me? So when they pull a motherfucker over, especially a black person, while all these problems, the problem with police and black people is when the police sees a black person, especially a black male, they go into human mode off the first instinct. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of them even approach the car. If they pull a black person over, a black dude, they're going to approach the car completely different than they would if it was anybody else. So as soon as they say something to you, that moment where you be like, okay, they'll try to give you the benefit of the doubt. You know, walk up to the car, how you doing today, sir? What am I being pulled over for? So the moment did you show any form of resistance or like, did you got something to say? Then they go into human mode. You feel me? Then they start wanting to play that, you know what I'm saying? They want to see whose nuts is big and shit. Oh, I'm pulling you over because I want to. Woo. Matter of fact, get out the car. You know what I'm saying? They start doing shit like that. And it just goes to show you, bro, that like, there got to be regulations for motherfuckers with position of power, and the main one is Meek Mill's judge, bro.
That's what I was getting
That
at.
is a main case. Period, bro.
The shit,
period.
At this point, it's just like it's been ridiculous,
been
but now it's like
it's
really
embarrassing.
It's embarrassing, bro. When you
To
got
them.
her own lawyer saying that the man don't even need to go to jail, and on top of that, the case is just really a death wish on her career.
He said he's representing her, and he feel like he's on the losing team.
Yeah.
He feel like he's like, you feel me, a defense attorney.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, why am I having to defend you from this shit? Like, why is it even up to this point?
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? And that just goes to show you that people with position of power have to be held to the law too. Because now that's the problem that we starting to have. Anybody with any form of power or position of power, they, in this Trump era especially, feel like they want to stretch that shit out. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, like, look at this case, for example, with Meek Mill's judge. She's not letting this shit go, and it's obviously just, it's past right or wrong, because it's obviously wrong. And it's past, like, the bullshit, and then it's just like, I'm doing this because I want to. You feel what I'm saying? The same way a police can pull you out, smack you up, you know what I'm saying? Beat you up, shoot you, kill you. At the end of the day, it's because they want to. You feel what I'm saying? They want to. You got your hands up, you running away. R.P. Walter Scott, you running away from the police, they shoot you, gun you down, to get you on camera. Because they want to. You feel what I'm saying? And then they go into court and they getting sent home and they beating this shit like it's normal. It's no repercussions to nothing. And I feel like this is a great time and period, bro, for Meek to be going through what he's going through. Unfortunately, he has to be the one to go through it. But we're going to need that, bro, period, because it's opening light on that it's the whole, everything's fucked up when it comes to this shit. Right. Man, y'all see what it is? We live in a new world. We not really, like, people are starting to have more power, like how it's supposed to be. You feel what I'm saying? Man, fix this right now, because the way she's playing with this man's life should be illegal. You feel what I'm saying? How you gonna hold something over this man's head? For one, for popping a willie, but for two, just the probation and parole laws, period. Why you got somebody on papers for 10 years? You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's what, you're not free. That's worse than being in jail. You out here, but now you got a jail monitor with you 24/7, a parole.
And then they can make it legal and stuff like that for them to continue to take money from people who's on parole. Man, that's just like if you're on the watch now, or you on house incarceration. You feel me? For people who don't know what that means. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to pay for that now. You got to pay like up to $70
you gotta pay to
a
be
week.
Locked up.
Pay to be locked up.
You feel me?
It's crazy, and that's what. And going along with your point too, but like, her attitude and her like actions towards this man, you feel me, and this case being so big is even affecting other officials. It's just like the mayor, you feel me, the mayor, Jimmy Kenny or whatever, not Kimmel, but something. Jim Kenny is his name. But this nigga is like trying to really get made in America, thrown out of Philadelphia. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that
what?
Just because. You feel me? Like, think about it. Meek Mill's a part of Rock Nation. It's a Rock Nation concert. Meek Mill has so much authority over Philadelphia.
Because you know why? That you know how embarrassing that would be? It's going to be more embarrassing for them. It's like, look, obviously they doing everything right and they winning.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Meanwhile, you trying to make this man, paint this man out to be bad. It's only so far you can go before the paintbrush dries out.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? And it's been dry.
And then the thing about the festival is it brings 50,000 people to the city, and on top of that, like in the part of town it's in, I forget what it is. It's like really in the heart of the city. You feel me? Yeah. It's like it's surrounded by like black museums, you feel what I'm saying? Black owned businesses, and it's helped so much.
And that does community. A lot for the city, period.
So yes,
Made in America, that festival is huge.
You know what I'm saying? So like taking it out, like the other day, Milwaukee, they shot them an offer. They said they told Rock Nation that if they don't want it, we will. Which is Milwaukee is the city of festivals. That's what they known for.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So.
But that's fucked up.
But
bro.
they ended up reprimanding it and overturning it. But just to think.
Oh, they did.
Yeah. Just
did they even thought about it?
Yeah, thought about it.
You feel what I'm saying? And that was probably a push from her. But because you look at this, bro, it's like you know what I'm saying? She's past tarnishing her legacy. She's already done that as an evil, scorning woman. You feel what I'm saying? Everything that she's worked for is now just being looked at as negative. Right. Now she's getting to a point where judges and lawyers is talking about her and talking about each other. So your own teammates is talking about you. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's looking like a mess. It's just showing you there has to be reconstruction with this law shit.
After this, I think she should get disbarred, bro. I don't think she should judge anyone over again,
facts.
Because it's just too many flaws in the system.
And that's what look at this situation. Okay, the man has been on parole since he's been 18. Been on papers. For those who do not know, parole means you are on papers, and more than likely means that you cannot travel within limits. You know what I'm saying? You cannot do any form of drugs. You have a lot of restrictions that are placed on you that if you break the smallest restrictions, then you will be sent back to jail. For example, Meek Mill, under those restrictions, for example, they'll say some shit like, you know what I'm saying, you can't basically get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? You can't have no run-ins with the police. For 10 years. So even if I get pulled over, you feel what I'm saying, for speeding, that's literally a infliction with the officers that they could use if they really wanted to be petty. Well, she did. You feel what I'm saying? This man gets pulled over for popping a wheelie that they dismiss in court. Basically say like, okay, it's not even worth the time. Meanwhile, she looks at that and is like, okay, perfect. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to take advantage. I'm going to take advantage of this. Took this man back to jail, wanted to keep him in jail. The power of the people got him out. You feel what I'm saying? So now she's looking like confused, but at the same time, she will not let this situation go. So now he's out of jail. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody understands that, for one, why he's even still on parole, being a man, a rich, wealthy man, making money, putting people in position to eat and feed their families, doing something positive for the community. Why is he even still on parole? You feel what I'm saying? And then on top of that, the officer that locked him up has been tied to other dirty cases that they have thrown out. They thrown out them cases because they figured out he's a dirty police. So, nigga, now you go back through all that shit. She's still looking like, no, I still want him to be on this. I still want to take this man. I still want, you know why? Because she's obsessed with this man. She's a fan. She can't imagine her life without him at this point. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? That's how much, and it's sad. That's my perspective as far as at least why she's still hanging around. You know what I'm saying? But the other perspective is that it's just wrong. You feel me? And she's just evil, period. Because if this man, what's the point of having restraints on this man's life if he's not doing nothing wrong? What you think, you going to let him off parole? He's going to do something and kill somebody and end up back in jail, period? You think he's going to go back to jail, period? When you're making millions of dollars and you came from being broke, who would fuck that up by going to jail?
And motherfuckers they don't see that. You know what I'm saying? They see what he was versus even if he was wrong from the get-go. Have you seen these pictures of him getting beat by the police? Like,
facts.
You feel me? He was
he was wrong. He knew
he was a youngin' when he got beat up.
And that's the thing. We got to stop looking at these we got to stop looking at the book definition. Just look with your own eyes. You feel what I'm saying? Put yourself in them shoes. That's all I do. You feel what I'm saying? And not only that, niggas done been, you know what I'm saying? Like, put yourself in them shoes.
Right.
For real, for real.
See, my perspective of it is the same, but also, too, like, if you a judge, right? You feel me? Like going off of what a judge really does. A judge is really there to basically judge the sentences, like sentencing. You know what I mean?
Man.
Like if the jury makes the decision whether somebody's guilty, and I'm going somewhere with this. If the jury decides like whether somebody's guilty or not guilty, the judge is just there to decide whether the time is fair that they get in. For one, so bringing it back to this, one, we talking about a lady who put somebody on probation for 10 years. 10 years of probation. Like off of his first offense, I believe it was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like 10 years. That's fair and unjust already. You feel me? So my thing about it is like, why, okay, that's a red flag, and she's done other cases like this. You feel what I'm saying? So like, why is she judging? Two, you feel what I'm saying? Two, as a parole board, you feel me? If I'm giving you parole, like my job as a judge is done. You feel me? My job as a judge is literally done. If the person that I charged or whatever gave the time to, if they on parole, then it's not my job no more. Right. I'm not the police. That's what the parole board is for. That's why they got a whole different section. You feel me? Because they parole. You know what I'm saying? So if my parole board says that the man did not need to go to jail, so that should have been the end of the conversation. It should have been thrown out. So my thing about it is like,
not only your parole board, your prosecutor,
everybody
who's against you, your district attorney, the prosecutor in the case who says this is how much time we want to give him. You feel me? All of them say, man, that's not worth it. Let this man go.
And that's what I'm saying. Even with all of that, my perspective is, if you gonna overturn shit, why have them people in charge? What are their jobs doing?
Man.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, what are they supposed to be doing if you're not gonna listen to them in the get-go? But you a fan. Like you said, you a fan, bro, and you playing with somebody's life, and it's fucked up. You feel me? And it's and it's just, I guess, and
she's a slave catcher.
And I gotta and then I gotta wrap it all the way back to like the sad part about it. It is a black woman. You feel me? Like that's the sad part about it. You know, so. It's just
unfortunately, these are supposed to be, you know what I'm saying? It's no love in the system at all. I don't want her. She's a black, and that's the facts of it though. She is a black woman. You feel what I'm saying? But it's too far to. Have you heard? You know the story of Kalief Browder? Mm-hmm. Judge was a black woman. You feel what I'm saying? Once you get in them doors, they don't care what color you are. You feel? I'm not about to look out for you. I don't give no fucks about you. You feel me? I'm gonna need to make my courtroom look better. But in this aspect right here. It's a fan.
And how hypocritical, cuz? Like, how much of a hypocrite could you be to say blackmail the man by making music to inspire youth, you know what I'm saying, that's doing wrong or in wrong situations in the city, but then you go around and you persecuting the man that they look up to? You know what I'm saying? Like, how could you say, I'll look at you and be like, you need to go back and your punishment is you need to make a song for the youth, right? About all the injustices that they going through, and on top of that, why it's important to do good. But if you don't do it, I'm just showing you exactly why they facing the injustices by putting you in jail or putting you in a situation where you can't change over something petty.
That's why his music is the truth. You feel me? That's why me actually stands. It's because we witnessing this. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's unfortunate, like I said, he has to go through this, but this is what it is. Right. And it's a good thing in the sense of this happens all day, every day. Right. You feel what I'm saying? People's lives get played with by the system. That's why I say you do not want to fall victim to the system. It's not more so even about just being in jail, even though nobody wants to be in jail. I don't think that's a place for no. But at the same time, these people get to play with your life. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, people don't understand how these decisions go. They act like that they just pass through a computer and it says this and that. No, these people sit in a room and they be like, you know what? Let's keep him on parole for 2 more years. Yeah. He violated that 2 years. Let's do 3. You know what I'm saying? And they play with it like numbers. Let's do 3. That sounds right. We could do this and that's cool to them. And then they go on about their day and do hundreds more. And what's the defense for everybody else? Well, they shouldn't have got in trouble. Yeah. You telling me I deserve 10 years on probation for popping a wheelie? Yeah. That's what you telling me? Does that make any sense? Mm-hmm. So now I'm really less than a human being because I made a mistake. Yeah. But don't we all make mistakes?
It's crazy.
It's fucked up, bro.
I ain't
fucked up world we lived in.
Man, fuck them, bro. But let me tell you this. Can you believe 14 years ago, the other day, Lean With It, Rock With It came out?
For the culture, nigga.
For the culture.
I wonder what them niggas been up to.
Man, I don't know.
Had everybody rocking white tees, nigga. Then they came out in my throwback.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, they had the whole game wanting to do remixes and shit.
Yeah, bro. Like, I wonder what a lot of, you feel me? I wish a lot of our classics came back, man. Like, the people who made our classics came back. What Crime Mob doing? You feel what I'm saying? Like, what's Crime Mob
They still doing shows somewhere.
Man.
You know that.
And I would want to fuck with it, you know? But, I don't know. It's just a random thought. What you got, bro?
All right, y'all, man. That wraps up, though, this episode of The Session, man. A podcast dedicated more than nothing than something with your host, Sean Dill.
And your boy, CT.
Man, follow us on Instagram at
The Real Session.
You dig. That is The Real Session, spelled CESSION. Add us on YouTube. You know, subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts. Fuck with us. You dig.